Dear friends, my dear friends, just in my previous videos, I taught you the first poem that was my grandmother's house, composed by Kamala Das. And now, in this connection, I am going to teach you the next poem that is Fire Him, Fire Him, composed by K.N. Daruwala. As you know that K.N. Daruwala is an Indian poet, but he belongs to Parsi religion, Zoroastrian. But he is an Indian English poet, and that is a fine specimen of Daruwala poetic craftsmanship. This poem centers two incidents in the poet's life. Two incidents in the poet's life. The first incident that took place when, as a boy, he was wandering with his father, where it was on the bank ghat. The time that has been mentioned, that was dawn, Usakal. As he was wandering with his father, they visualized that a dead body was cremated 4 or 5 hours ago. Still, the red hot embers was glowing there. Both of them, father and son, were wandering, and they visualized red hot embers, and it was assumed that the fire must consume whatever it is given. But for consuming dead body, leaving only bones and ashes, and situation, this situation, when father saw, he pointed out to the poet and said that sometimes fire failed to perform its task and leaves unburnt limbs and other parts of the body. Father said to the poet when the poet was a child. Father said, pointing out, he said that half cooked limbs bore witness to the fire's debauchery. My father said to me, you see those half burnt fingers and bones stubs. The fire sometimes forgets it's dead. And the poet, not poet, but a father of the poet, was depressed. Being a Parsi, The poet, as I told you, that Daruwala belongs to Parsi and worshipper of fire. He was pained at the forgetfulness of fire towards his dead. He swore to save fire from the sin of forgetfulness. Subsequently, the poet observed that the fire never failed in performing its duty of consuming the whole human body. The fire never failed in performing its duty of consuming the whole human body. And in the second stanza, the poet says that after 20 years, it was a gap of 20 years, the first child of the poet was dead. According to the Parsi customs, he consigned the dead body to his son to the flames, as the nearest tower of silence was 1,000 miles away. But the poet had a feeling of guilt because he failed to perform the custom of Parsi system. When fire was consuming his son's dead body, the poet heard the fire was saying to the poet, "You stand forgiven. You stand forgiven for violating the Parsi code because you have neglected, you didn't obey, you disobeyed the custom of Parsi." The custom of Parsi, but the poet says, broken yet rebellious, broken yet rebellious, I swore this time, I swore this time to save it from the sin of forgiving. In this way, this poem, Fire Hymn, is a serious, touching, and thoughtful poem. And it is based on phobia. The poet the poet has a apt used apt words, and excellent craftsmanship in this poem. And thus the poem ends, and the poet has given us the knowledge of Parsi customs. And now I will I will teach you the meaning of every line after this video. Thank you so much. Good night.